Good morning. Sorry about technical difficulties on the other one. But we here. Okay.
You may come from a plug family, and I come from another plug family. Our families will come together in marriage.
What's up this morning, everybody? I had to come up on StreamYard. I'm sorry.
How much is forgetting for 10? You need Astapro. Astapro? It's faster, bro. 8 times faster than Flonase. It's faster, bro. Mom, Astapro starts working in 30 minutes. Astapro and go. Locked out. Their easy app at 24/7 now. Yeah, you don't have to make this so tough on yourself. Geico is sending someone to unlock her car right now. Yeah. Everything you need. Get more with Geico. It doesn't cut you. Lowe's knows what a great service can be. Find a place to rent. I know renters when I see them. Apartments.com. We can help you get into a lovely 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom. I don't presume anything. Apartments.com. The place to find a place. Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to downtown Charleston here. This is what 11 inches of rain in 2 days will do for you. Okay, you can see the flooding here at Smith and Vanderhorst, which is where we're at this morning. It's impassable in many spots. This is about as deep in as we can get. It looks like that house on the corner there, Smith and Vanderhorst, actually does have some water, at least right up to the base of it, maybe even toward the front door. But this is a usual thing. As a matter of fact, we caught Stephanie Massey on her way to work today, and this is what she had to tell us about how this area floods.
I've been living on the street since January of '99, and it's been a while. And rarely have I seen it, maybe 4th or 5th time come up this high on our streets. But this corner, normally you'll see kayakers and stuff like that, even just a minor rainstorm, but this is definitely up higher than normal.
Well, we haven't seen any kayakers at this point. Okay, and we don't obviously we don't want you out and stuff. But other than that, we still got a long way to go, guys. What we've seen in 2 days in downtown Charleston. Remember, we had in 3 days 17 inches of rain from Joaquin back in 2015. So we still have
Joaquin, that's what it was.
We still have
That
Wednesday, and honestly,
constant flood here.
some of the
It's Joaquin.
warnings and the flood warnings or flood watches, I should say, expire on Friday. So this goes for a long time. So the system comes down over the water. I think the big question for Charleston is, A, do we keep the current moisture feed that's coming in right now, or does that wane? Because right now this rain is manageable. It's a lighter rain, okay? So it's not adding to the flooding flows. Or B, does city reformulate some type of inner eye wall to reorganize itself and tighten up? Now the forecast is for it to intensify again. But it's all about the inner workings of the system, I think. Especially given the
Told
fact
y'all
that
it was gonna intensify.
Thursday, that it's going to get close to Charleston.
As soon as it hits open water, that's it. I told y'all.
With what I just gave you,
Damn.
are we going to be dealing with an additional threat? You think this thing can reorganize, especially with an inner eye wall?
It could become a hurricane again. All it takes is just a little bit of open water. Boom, there she goes.
Really, that's a long way to go. Centers over Georgia right now. We will get there, but we'll have time to watch that. You gotta see this stuff. This is video from Live Oak, Florida. Just incredible. That truck drove right off the road where the road was washed away.
Oh hell, this is where the turnaround don't drown
Yesterday, especially.
comes up.
Thankfully, it's dried out since then. But oftentimes, when the storm moves away, you get the worst flooding because the runoff continues. And we're going to see a lot of that in parts of Georgia today. This is a forecast of the amount of rain yet to come. And you can see in some spots it's well over a foot in the areas of central and northern South Carolina and southern North Carolina. Now, also, we have quite a bit more rain to come in that location. I would tell you that I think it's not going to happen today.
It's going to happen.
Accumulates the rainfall through Saturday. So Denny will be sticking around for a while, and over time will gradually accumulate the rainfall. It's not going to come down as hard as it has been, but over time, over the next several days, we will begin to add up the precipitation in that region. All happening on top of an area that is seeing so much rainfall in just the last 48 hours. You can see some of the numbers. The radar estimates are way over a foot, not far from Beaufort, South Carolina, and near Charleston, near a foot. So overall, we've been dealing with an incredibly rainy system that has still a long way to go, even though maybe the rainfall rates not as impressive as they were even 12 hours ago. This is not much of a wind maker right now. You can see 20, maybe some gusts more than that offshore. The wind, not so much of a factor, but the fact that it's not moving much and the fact that it is still tapping a tropical MS is the factor. That is the big deal. Center circulation is actually right about in there, right along I-95, just south of Savannah, Georgia. And you can see there's not a whole lot of rain near the middle of this thing. Not surprising, given that it's a tropical cyclone. A lot of it on the north and east side. We are also seeing some heavy rain still on the backside near Statesboro, Georgia, heading toward even Waycross. So again, we're not done. And the fact that Debbie's not moving much, we're going to continue to pile up those precinct totals in the coming days. What I'm concerned about here in terms of rainfall rate is these areas in northern South Carolina. Heads up, Myrtle Beach, there's a line of thunderstorms and showers with very heavy rainfall rates in excess of 2 inches per hour and water spout and tornado threat. This line of showers and storms has embedded supercell structures in there, meaning there's rotation all over the place as these little systems, these little convective cells move northwestward off the Atlantic, each one of them carrying some tornado risk. So we've got to watch out that there are no warnings out. Don't be surprised if in the next couple of hours we see some warnings pop up with that particular band. There's a tornado watch that goes until 5 o'clock this afternoon evening for precisely that kind of activity that we'll have to see not just through the early afternoon, through the late afternoon as well. Showers and thunderstorms are populating the regions now just offshore of Wilmington, some even onshore as far north as Coxsville Beach. So this is going to be a rainy time for many of us in North Carolina. Timing it out, you can see how little really Debbie moves. It does come offshore. Ken Torrey was suspecting here that there's a chance that this thing gets a bit stronger. You know, there is a chance, but it's got a lot of work to do in order to recapture the interior structure it once had when it was over the Gulf of Mexico. It's been beaten up for sure since then, but nonetheless, it's going to bring that heavy rain, and that is going to continue through Thursday, very likely, and before it begins to accelerate northward, going into the weekend, bringing in heavy rainfall all the way through the Northeast. So overall, Jim, you tell me, does it feels like most of it for now has temporarily lifted to your north, but more yet is it's coming on the way. Maybe not at that intense rate, but a long duration event still.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we just have to see what happens. We go
Morning.
you know, late today, tonight, and then we're in a light shear environment. It's very warm water temperature. We make it out toward the Gulf Stream with this.
Welcome to a rainy Tuesday morning. Welcome to a rainy South Carolina today. Welcome.
That would bring standing
Welcome.
rains,
Welcome.
heavier rains, and even more wind down back here for Charleston. And this makes its landfall again as we get toward Thursday afternoon. But guys, it's only Tuesday morning. It's only Tuesday morning. Right now, the mayor having a news conference with everyone. He's talking about any kind of wind that picks up here can actually bring down. That's actually a good reference. Now, here's a Jeep that's jacked up a little bit. All right, you can see the wheels up a little bit, but it's coming up to the bottom of those wheels. We haven't.
Something came up on my Facebook feed this morning.
It's still staying up, likely because of the.
I don't remember
That's being added to it, but right now.
the red Jeep that was out in the middle of the ocean in Myrtle Beach. I think it was
Unless we get any heavy stands of rain.
2018, I think it was. Yeah, 2018.
Now, so we're heading toward a lower tide. That's a good news.
Someone came up with that picture. Oh, God. I remember that poor Jeep. And it was a red Jeep.
Rain actually fell after we got that high tide, thank goodness. But we had tornadoes, okay, in Edisdale and also in the Moncks Corn. So those areas have a lot of damage this morning as a result of the tornadoes. A lot of action here. All sorts of sirens going off last night here in and around the city. And of course, wind with rain with these thunderstorms as they move through. And that's where the strongest winds are. Heavy thunderstorms and heavy rain bands that come through will bring down the strongest wind that always comes with a tropical system. So for now, everybody's just kind of hunkered down here in Charleston, waiting what is going to be the next move from Debbie. It's going back over the water. But our next heavy rain chances are going to be as this thing tries to reorganize and maybe pushes some heavier rain up here tomorrow, or actually late tonight and on toward tomorrow, Alex. So kind of a slow move, just kind of, gallivanting around out there over the waters. I just hope it doesn't develop again.
It's going to develop. And we are all in the same boat, Mr. Cantori. We don't want it to develop again, but it's going to develop as soon as it hits warm waters. That's all it's going to take. That's all it's going to take for a hurricane to actually happen again. For Debbie to
only mode of transportation by way of kayak or boat in this situation.
They would go with that.
Let's talk about some of the rainfall what it did there in parts of North Florida. Well, we didn't do the flood, Richmond. You can see some.
But all it takes in order for Debbie to become a hurricane again is hit that open water. And like I said, Charleston is nothing but a peninsula. You have not only the ocean, yes, but you have the coastal ways and you have the South Carolina ports, which right now is in limbo with Carnival. Y'all get your together. And that's all it's going to take in order for Charleston to get flooded. And parts of Columbia, parts of Orangeburg will be flooded.
Up into North Carolina here, many of these going through our Friday. And then another high risk day is in place here for us. This is going through tomorrow morning. including here, Southeast Georgia up into portions of North Carolina. That's the highest risk of flooding that you can have. We've got that again tomorrow, heading into Thursday morning as well, including Charleston to Myrtle Beach, back up towards the Wilmington area. And then as we move from Thursday to Friday, an additional day that we have a high risk. So if you could include Monday, it will be basically your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days in a row here of a high risk in place. And again, that's just, you don't get high risks all that often. If you're going to get them 3 days in a row, probably talking about that's exactly what we've got. A very slow mover, which has the potential to bring a lot of heavy rain. And so those high risk days, they are very, very important when we're talking about potential for damage. 83% of yearly flood damage takes place on high risk days. That's why we continue to harp on that. But compared to moderate risk days, we're about that accounting for about 4%. So you really increase that flood potential damage and flood death when it comes to high risk days. So let's play this out. Put the radar into future mode. You can see there's the core of the circulation just kind of hanging out there along the Georgia South Carolina state line, heading through the late morning hours. Then as we head into this afternoon, that's it. We see this thing trying to now work its way out over the waters of the Atlantic. So it's there overnight into our Wednesday, and then it begins to work its way back towards the coast throughout the day on your Wednesday, again, all the while still spinning and bringing more rainfall. And some of that heavy at times, because that starts to fill back in overnight into Thursday. Parts of North Carolina, South Carolina still dealing with some of that rain. Again, that's why we do think there's going to be still very heavy rainfall out of here. Again, a foot plus, foot and a half. There's a real possibility that we do face. Now, eventually, we will start to see some of this pushing north, and you can kind of pick that out here when we start looking at the forecast here for the presentation. So those higher folds start to creep up into the mid-Atlantic. So if you take some time, but we're finally going to see this thing begin to nudge its way northbound. Yeah, it's going to nudge initially. You're exactly right about that, Alex. But by, let's say, Friday and into Saturday, it will begin to accelerate. Yeah, believe it or not, Debbie's going to actually pick up some speed when it's moving through the Northeast. It will be moving at a pretty good clip. It's not going to hang out for that long. But it will bring some still heavy rain because the atmosphere will become very moist with tropical air surging in. Now, we've got rain in the forecast today and some ongoing now. This is not associated with that. It's a frontal zone that is moving on in, and it won't move very fast over the next couple of days. So we are going to see some rain today in many locations from the Great Lakes to the Northeast, big cities included New York, Boston, Binghamton, New York, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, some chance of severe weather as well. So that will be contended. But then going toward the weekend, a tropical air mass will be surging northward as Debbie begins to pick up some speed and get closer. So we're going to see some heavy rain very likely across the region because it is a very moist air mass overall, and the rainmakers, the showers and storms will be very efficient. So rainfall rates will be pretty high, but thankfully it won't last all that long. Timing it out, you can see that, today, tomorrow, we've got that frontal zone hanging out. And then by Thursday, we start to see more substantial rain lift northward into Friday as well. And it's not going to rain everywhere here. The forecast is spread out over a large area because there's still some uncertainty as to exactly the movement of Debbie and where the precipitation is going to be. But get the idea. It's going to be moving through, and by later on Saturday, it's gone. So really about a day's worth of rain. That's a lot, especially when we're talking about some very efficient rainfall rates there. But overall, by Sunday, the weather improves. Alex, is drier air. Well, you got to see this. The streets in St. Petersburg so flooded that a catfish was actually spotted in.
Damn.
Someone's home on the driveway, and we've got catfish swimming around.
You got free dinner. We got free dinner.
Alex, you can walk in the driveway without being attacked by a great white, but yeah, you got to watch out his fish. Yeah. What do you do?
Well, all I got is
Just kind of let it hang around.
no
Fishing rod.
fishing rod. Yeah, get your fishing rod. I done shit. Get your fishing rod.
Unfortunately for some of us here across the South.
Get your fishing rod. We going fishing. We ain't got to go far. Just to the driveway.
you break it. We take it, break it any phone in any condition, guaranteed at Verizon, and get the new Galaxy S24 on us. Only on Verizon. You got it. You know it. Introducing the X-Pack from Powerfit, our groundbreaking technology designed for compression support of your lower back and core like you've never experienced before. Engineered with our most innovative, patent-pending, advanced compression system, the X-Pack evenly distributes the support across a broader surface area of your back for relief of lower back aches and pains. Your new valve is fantastic. I feel a bigger area of support. It was something different about this. A super lightweight mesh fabric, ventilated for unmatched breathability, to increase airflow and release excess heat. You have to try. You have to tell me. It's going to give you the kind of support and relieve the back pain that you have, because it is unbelievable. What if you fabric with the most advanced materials for superior support and lighter than air comfort? It's just relaxing all the tension that you get.
Wow, oh, that feels great.
I tried a lot of films in the past. Nothing like this. I mean, straight back issue, man. It's pretty hard to believe what I'm doing right now. And orthopedic design alloy support that, and more built-in flexible stabilizers can help improve alignment and promote better posture.
Usually when I have long triathlon, there's pain. With the belt, there's absolutely no pain. For me, it was like, okay, is this really happening? I really haven't felt anything like this before.
The all-new X-Pack from Copperfit, the most effective, breathable, customizable support for relief of lower back pain you will ever wear. Guaranteed for your money back. Get yours now at thinxpack.com for only 2 payments of $29.99 or call 1-800-230-9451. Order right now when your shipping is free. This is by far the best support that I've found.
You feel like yeah, you conquered the world. It's life changing.
The all-new X-Pack from Copperfit. Feel the difference. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Watch the Weather Channel for ongoing coverage of Debbie. Get trusted updates only on the Weather Channel and the Weather Channel TV app.
The Veterans Day. With deliberate details and modern functionality. For the indoor enthusiast. And in talk.
Science, football, and watching figures from big TV. Discovery, TLC. Tropical rainforests on channel 198 and wild sunflowers on channel 191. And it's a great channel to brand new titles live and on demand. Catch all this and so much more all month long on Dish.
Precise designs. Subtle curves. Curated upgrades. Elevated design for thoughtful living. Sigma.
The Weather Channel. Tested 5 hours from your Apple's host is now yours to stream with the Weather Channel TV app, real-time radar, and apps that let you track all the action. Personalization, customization, hundreds of hours of your favorite shows, and so much more. There's never been a better way for everyone to watch the Weather Channel. Available now on these platforms. Download now to start your free 7-day trial.
As for the coming days, starting early tomorrow, it looks like rain will start to lessen somewhat. But we are then looking at potential higher gusts of winds coming our way. This coupled with how saturated the ground has become creates conditions where we are likely to see more trees coming down
Mhm.
and potential power outages. To that end, we plan on assessing conditions at 7 a.m. tomorrow and making a decision soon thereafter as to what to do with the curfew. But until then, it will remain in effect. Again,
Yep.
I know it's frustrating. It's a curfew.
It ain't frustrating. It's the truth.
It's gonna go on for tomorrow morning, you heard
Yeah.
from there, into 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Right now,
That came
there's no wind.
across on my Facebook feed last night from Live 5 News.
It's really, like Rich and I were talking, just about how heavy the air is. Yesterday we had a little bit of a breeze and, you know, even with the rain, it's a little bit cooler, but the rain is very light. We just have a few drops coming down. You see a little brightening of the sky. So this is very manageable, okay? The big question is, has the worst of Debbie now affected Charleston? I mean,
No.
we can't let our guard
No.
down because there's still a potential that this.
Don't ever let your guard
And
down.
then it comes close to coming in, and that's what the mayor talked about with the wind, because if it does reorganize, we'll see the winds come up again, near the generate the separate circulation. So with saturated soil.
It's going to reform. I done told y'all.
Until this thing goes by, really on Friday morning, that's when we finally get out the rain. We certainly have that potential to get these bands again, but it all depends on what Debbie does when it gets back over the water, should reorganize, especially any kind of a decent circulation center or either form. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but that's.
It will.
Mayor Orson Smith, we're here to watch our foot gate.
It will. But I ain't arguing with Mr. Cantor. Jim Cantori, you are the GOAT.
Basically, it's starting to come down a little bit, which kind of makes sense. That's what's gonna happen. Remember, the tide's going out, so we're allowing the drains and the tide to actually pull the water out of Charleston, and that's exactly what they want. So this break came at a very good time. After we got anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of rain last night, in the Charleston area. We also had severe weather with tornadoes, tornado damage at Mox Corner and also Edstone. So those are the issues that we're dealing with today. Right now, again, some roads obviously remaining blocked, and as the mayor said, curfew staying in effect till 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, just to be safe for everybody. Hunker down, everybody. We still got tomorrow to go. We got to see what happens with the circulation center. Alex, back to you.
And then have to wait and see. Trying to clean up the mess that
Yes,
we left behind in Florida. There's a few of
I
these,
still got signal. I'm still good.
because of the
I'm still
downgrades there
good.
in Horseshoe Beach. Of course, this is an area just south of where in that landfall there in Steenhatchee area. So again, we had waters that were up, we had trees that were uprooted, snapping some of these areas coming down, and of course, a lot of power outages in these areas too. What we will continue to deal with problems along the coast. At least that's the risk that we face. So we still have storm surge potential problems. Storm surge warnings here for you, still in place across parts of southeastern Georgia, into South Carolina. That doesn't include us there in Charleston, back down towards Savannah. And then Watson's in place here as you move your way up toward Myrtle Beach, and then crossing up towards Cape Fear, in and around North Carolina. So that's going to be a risk as we see the flow driving on in, some of that onshore wind coming on in to parts of Carolina into Georgia. And right now, you can see just out of Charleston, we have water rise there just under a half a foot or so. One thing that's, I guess, that helped us out is that we don't have these extremely strong winds helping to push that water in. So we don't break up those winds, and it's tough to really force that water on in. So that's helping us out. And it's actually moved through right at the high tide. So we haven't seen the highest for waters. That's good news. We'll start to see that coming down here in the next several hours. But there is still that potential risk of 2 to 4 foot storm surge here
and where you see that yellow showing up. So again, we just essentially passed that high tide around Charleston, but there will be another one as we get into tonight, about 10:14. So that's gonna be a time frame that we really have to pay very close attention to how it's shaping up out there. Look at the winds again, not terribly strong. I mean, in these areas here, we're talking 10, 15, 20 mile an hour winds. In fact, strongest winds right now seem to be back to come towards Valdosta, where we're gusting up around 40 miles per hour. Charleston right now is gusting up over 20. So again, as we crank up those winds, storms are usually kept at bay just a bit. And as of course the power outage issues continue here across Florida, we have seen some improvement. Yesterday at points we were talking up over 300,000 for that power. That's down to 111. Oh my God.
Oh, Mr. Neil Gunn.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. It was proven superior, helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto with pregnant. It causes harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or Elasphere, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure. Novartis can help you save on your prescription.
The first time you try those, it hits you. Your laundry feels with more pressure and less wrinkles. You start to wonder, if I put a sheet of bounce on my boss, will it make his wrinkles smoother? Bounce can't do it all. But for better laundry, you can only get Wendy's new Saucy Nuts at Wendy's. So if anyone ever tries to tell you they have Saucy Nuts at home, you have to see what else they're hiding. If that person lies. For home new gotta be Wendy's.
I'm a pig that bubbled my way into your car.
Jules, get away from my car. And I'm going after you, Jules.
Did you know that I know this is covers? This could really stick. So get off stick.
Get tuned to get in.
Yeah.
Last year, over 100 million packages were stolen. Worse yet, over 500,000 homes were broken into. The party over for fires and brothers. This is the Bionic Solar Floodlight from Bell and Howell.
No, I want the I want the blink camera. I want that. I want the thing where, I could say, what the fuck is you doing out in my yard? You better get lost.
Big yards, patios, and walkways brighter. This next generation solar powered light features 120 high intensity LED bulbs, 3 separate adjustable panels, delivering multi-directional lights. Installs in seconds anywhere. No wires or stake it in the ground. And customize the panels anywhere you want light. Look, your lights are too weak, but watch. Bam! That's Bionic Light Power. Check out the difference before and after. Which home looks safer to you? The Bionic Floodlight is the ultimate security light standing guard up to 25 feet, keeping your family safer. And no more critters getting in your trash. Now there's plenty of light to scare them away. It'll light up your life when you pull into a bright driveway. And enjoy more.
So welcome to a rainy welcome to South Carolina during hurricane season.
Bionic Solar Floodlight from trusted Bell and Howell for just $29.99. And we'll have insurance for free. Order right now. Get a second Bionic Floodlight at 50% off. And it all comes with our Bell and Howell 5-year warranty. And it's been huge, so no way. You can miss out. Order right now.
The order call 1-800-306-6519 or go to bionicfloodlight.com. So call 1-800-306-6519. That's 1-800-306-6519 or order online at bionicfloodlight.com.
It's raining this butt off.
All right, taking a look at some of the damage last night in Enfield Island here. We had a tornado warning warnings really for a good part of the night during the overnight hours. So, Edisto, Mott's Corner, two of the areas that were hard hit. Yeah, this is not just a tree down here, a power line down here. Of course, we have that. You also have
Edisto Island is so beautiful.
that comes with these bands. I mean, we're still on
Miss
the
Kathy, you better thank you lucky stars you and your family came back, you know, just in time.
Obviously, we're a little bit more stable. The rain showers aren't as heavy as they were, so that's a good thing. And what also is good in areas like what we have.
You know, she doesn't
in Charleston,
watch here
we're gonna
because
see one.
she's
So,
not on
the
YouTube.
tide, think about this, the tide's going out, so there's a pull on the drains to actually pull the water out. So any of this water that's sitting over drain areas, which there's a lot of, is actually acting like a suction. It's pulling it out. Great thing. And we talked about that a little bit yesterday with the mayor, how important it was to make sure that we got enough of a low tide. So the winds, like Alex was talking about, are not strong enough to bring us a storm surge, but they're also not strong enough to keep the water up above the minimal tide. So getting a low tide is very, very important in heavy rain situations like this. Either way, this is what a foot of rain does in the city of Charleston. Let's go back to Stephanie Maxey. We talked to her this morning. She was heading out to work. She was walking to work this morning, and this is what she had to say about just kind of taking it all in stride.
Well, if I were on the bottom floor, I might rethink. Fortunately, I'm on an upper floor, still impacted wind and stuff, I get that, but, being a little bit higher, I elevated, I feel a little better about it, inside my unit. I think we have another, well, you're the expert, but
We have at least another 60 hours potentially. Yeah, so we'll see what happens over the next 60 hours. Do we see Debbie come back out of the water? The answer to that is yes, but does it reorganize? And how close is that next landfall going to be to Charleston? If it's to our south, that means we get the right front quadrant again. If it's to our north, we're on a more northwesterly flow that keeps the winds on.
It's gonna reform.
Some kind of a generation.
Please prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong.
Guess what? We're going to deal with issues again here in the Charleston area. So we're not in the woods yet. Bear News Conference is wrapped up, and they're saying, hey, curfew stays until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning at the least, and then they will reassess. All right, let's go back to the studio.
Well, just-
That's good.
You know, we have a lot more
That's
rain to
good.
come. That's probably our biggest concern. If you add it up over the coming days, this map takes us all the way through Saturday, showing you that in some cases we may see over a foot, and that would be in northern South Carolina and southern North Carolina, including Wilmington, maybe even Florence, our Western Columbia. We can see 2 or 8 inches of rain, and even in places where right now it's not raining that hard, like Savannah. Down the road, maybe not today, but tomorrow, once again, we continue that threat for heavy rain because Debbie is just not going to be moving very much over the coming few days. This is a forecast of how much rain is yet to come on top of a whole lot of rain we've already seen in many locations here in Georgia and South Carolina. We've seen over a foot of rain. So you can imagine that when this story is done, we're going to see places well over 2 feet of rain. Right now, the wind is not much of a factor. Jim was kind of getting at. If we see the center of circulation right about there now, which is inland, I might add, just south of Savannah near I-95, if it comes back out over water, one of the questions he was asking is if indeed it has a chance to re-strengthen and the wind becomes more of a problem then. There is some chance of that, but there's a whole lot it would yet to overcome. And so I think the biggest threat right now remains the rainfall because of the lack of movement of Debbie overall. Yeah, there's center circulation right out there. How about that? Just south of Savannah. You can sort of tell by the wind. The wind pattern is kind of looking like that. Right in between those two wind regimes is where the center of the low pressure is. But much farther to the north, we continue with a very heavy rain closing in on places like Georgetown and Myrtle Beach and areas everywhere in between. Now, these two lines of showers and some storms contain a tornado threat. There are little individual circulations embedded in there. And so, like this one right here, guys, look at this, right there. That may be a water spout in Providence closing in on the coastline. This is a threat that is going to be with us throughout the afternoon hours with that tornado watch that goes until 5 o'clock. And that does include Charleston, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington, and areas inland from there. So the tornado threat continues today as the overall rain pattern continues to shift ever so slightly to the north into parts of southern North Carolina. We'll be right back.
Whether because of discomfort, lack of mobility, your lifestyle, or occupation, you sit inactively way too many hours a day. Introducing Ellipse, the premium quality automatic seated exercise.
Oh, from the UK. Hello.
Boosts circulation.
Let me get some more coffee from Nottingham. Oh my God. Y'all close to London. Oh my God.
Tone your legs, increase your mobility.
I'm over here just to rant. Raven, I gotta get this coffee made.
Circulation.
My joints feel better, my knees feel better, my back feels better, and it makes me feel stronger too.
Perfect for home therapy. What's required to use while you work?
My circulation is moving, I'm burning calories, and it makes me feel energetic.
Now, in order Ellipse, a seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation. Call and get upgraded to the Deluxe Bundle. Get the faster motor for 5 miles of steps per hour. The step counter, the sport mat, and wireless remote. Call now. What would you do when the power goes out?
Now you're just doing the generator.
Right to you. Your life goes on uninterrupted because you'll have power when you need it the most. The number one thing to prepare for is extended power. You'll need some and special financing and low monthly payment options are available. Now, let's do this. Power your life. Charge you. Your ever would be no compromise interior. Coming around $34,995. Online and go further with America's most affordable EV, which is 16 miles range. We're not saving a vehicle you know, that you expect, and a dealer right down the street. Go get money, together, let's drive.
Design training programs.
Summarize tips. What's a recipe? Using what I have in my fridge. It starts with an empty cup. Most of things fail. At tips.
You know, if you were cash back, it's the number on everything, just one car. Takes 3 months. So if you're off the right, you will try to
Cash back. Cash back on blackjack, eight back, taco, that's taco.
6 bags. Let's do it. Sweet.
Hold up. Here, I can't talk right now, I'm gonna sell them cash back. Bob, cash 3 months, limited. You cash back, check. More than yours.
Once upon a time, there was community, meticulously crafted to stir your imagination.
I'm good. Welcome to rainy South Carolina during hurricane season.
Feeling clear and clear. It's like. Clarence and clear. Now, how would you repeat that? With Clarence and clear.
Everybody wants super straight, super white teeth, and with that Hollywood white fine color. Clinical White writes 2 shades lighter teeth and 24/7 sensory protection. I think it's a great product. It's going to help a lot of patients.
Get it right now. I'm trusting. You know, get a flat tire. They're easy app 24/7. Your chance. If you need what coverage system, skip all we got now.
All right, looking live at Charleston Harbor here, 77 degrees outside of Dew Point. It's not too far behind, 75. So it's area contains, as I like to call it, the Dew Point is that high. And tropical storm Debbie, of course, leading us with a very gloomy, rainy, some of the rain's heavier at times, but at times it's also been very, very light. No wind here in town, so it's very humid. Probably a little bit more breeze if you're out anywhere near the water, and occasionally you can see the camera shades. You have to green. You have water kind of drains down on the little lens. Of course, on the right there, you can see Debbie's swirling around very close to Savannah, Georgia right now, waiting for it to reemerge back over the water, and then we'll see what it does.
It's going to reemerge. I'm sorry to tell you all that. As soon as it hits warm water, and it normally happens,
Full rain.
it's going to reform back into a category 1 hurricane.
Much stronger. And so, come on, Andy, you got a chance to get some video. You got up your drone. Okay. Let's talk about what you saw there. Pretty simple.
Very similar to what you have here, but it's very widespread. When you get up in the air, you can see it's this blocks.
But please don't get mad at me, Mr. Cantor. You are the goat of meteorologists. I love to meet you in person and shake your hand.
Some areas, and it's about a foot and a half, 2 foot deep, so it's a lower area, so that elevation of the road makes it.
Did you see it in any of the homes?
It was in the bottoms, it's barely similar to what we have back here.
Spaces as you right.
And it's, in those situations, in a few cases, you had cars stalled out.
Oh, you actually had cars in street.
Right, some of those small cars, they don't realize their air intakes are very low. Right? So it doesn't take a foot of water and it can suck it up into the engine. I talked to one of the police officers here that's in one of the detective type cars. She said there were several areas she couldn't go through because of her car, but there was some trucks that get through the area as well.
So like here, the water is
You know, I took one time, you know, it wasn't during the hurricane season,
Closer to the bay, you
but
can
it was raining real bad in Orangeburg and it flooded my car.
to the bays.
But then
So get to the top yet.
eventually, you know,
Before you got
it
here.
dried out and it started.
But
But I don't suggest it.
Stephanie this morning, you say, I've only seen it come up this high, like once or twice before, and now it's going down. So this kind of rain is weird.
It seems like, Cameron, you know, I mean, you're the expert on this kind of stuff, that we're gonna have, it'll get bad, and it may get a little better, and then it's gonna get bad. So don't get lulled into it's okay now.
Yeah, yeah, right. That's what we've been talking about. So what happens when this goes out of the water? Does the circulation center regenerate a little bit? And when does it turn north? Is it going to be south of Charleston? Is it going to be north? I mean, right now, you know, it's north of Charleston, but that could change. So when something stationary, or again, maybe steering that takes over,
Or even the rain bands. Even the rain bands that come in, Jim, we, you know, one of the bands that drop an inch of rain in a short period of time, and that can change a lot.
yesterday it dropped 2 inches, so we had flooding in the Banner and pump out.
It rained all night and I slept real good. I slept real good.
It's pumped out right now. The fact that we don't have the wind, that this is weakening. We're going now lower in the tide. It's pulling, like Charles said, it's diverting it. Well, it's actually pulling the water back to the drain and back out where it belongs in the Cooper Action rivers and eventually the Atlantic Ocean. So, appreciate it, buddy. And, you know, we'll obviously reassess here if you don't want to time, but okay, right. But for rain, severe weather last night, I think we did overall pretty well, and this city was absolutely 100% prepared. Alex Walls back.
Such a key, right? Preparation prevents poor performance. And it seems like we have certainly avoided the poor performance, at least so far. Our next one, Jim, there, but we're still a ways to go because we still have a decent amount of rain to come. Look at the rainfall totals here going through the early part of the weekend, and you know we still have some areas here that could be looking at a foot plus as you get across South and North Carolina. Heads up in places like Wilmington. We get towards the Fayetteville area, just south of Raleigh. A lot of rainfall that is still potentially yet to come, and then some of the spreads northbound as well. You can see some reviving totals getting all the way up into portions of the mid-Atlantic. Still raining out there, obviously, and we still have a number of flash flood warnings that are in place here, including in and around Savannah, back up towards Charleston. The one here in Savannah, where we are unfortunately seeing, not seeing a whole lot in the way of additional rainfall. Here we still have that warning out until 12:30. Only that can continue to allow for some of those waters to recede. We saw Stephanie Abrams, she was there in Savannah, and she was showing how that water was slowly but surely creeping back in some of the areas that we did see some flooding. So with less rainfall in the picture, that will certainly be beneficial. Still finding some rain there in and around Charleston. We still have a flash flood warning here for us until 12:30. The threat is considerable here, so we'll have to keep an eye on that area. Again, some of these fans, they try to swing on in. And with any of these, as probably just mentioned, they can dump a lot of rain very quickly, and we can see waters begin to rise in a few more areas. So we still have flood watches here through the end of the weekend, where you see that rain, the high risk for flooding, that continues here heading into tomorrow morning as well. And we have had that high risk even into tomorrow. So same locations. Of course, if you want to help things out here for you, you can help out with the American Red Cross. To help out, you can head to
Cross.org
Weather Channel.
Weather Channel.
Redcross.org/Weather Channel. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Dangerous weather can happen anytime, anywhere. I'm Ken Green, Director of the National Weather Service. We work alongside weather providers like the Weather Channel, our partners, to deliver critical weather information to keep you safe. But complete weather safety starts with you. First, create an emergency. Next, practice that plan with family and friends, and finally stay alert for weather. Once we prepare together, we can weather any storm.
Automatically detects your temperature and cools you down. And the all-new Rerow Infinity QXE. Levi's, Jordan, Epic Threads, Nike. Back to school favorites at prices you'll love. Designed to last from the first day of school picture to the last. At Macy's. Excuse me. Here's
How are you doing?
Stay tapped to the best of us. It's made us not hitch it. When they do, time's got to be covered.
During an asthma attack, every second feels like an eternity. I've had 2 misses fast. So likely shown to open airways so quickly to get the number 1. Open the camera and nail it. 10 to miss. Breathe easy again. I had terrible flooding problems on my porch. Now I understand why.
Turns off right free. I couldn't find your schedule.
almost today.
Hey y'all. Hi. I don't know if I got some people in the bushes. Hello, hello, hello.
Look, we are checking in on Holden Beach, North Carolina, and you talk about not a beach day. This is definitely, we actually had a tornado warning that was in effect here for us there in Holden Beach. We were watching these areas of rotation showing up there, coming ashore, more than likely we're probably looking at some water spout, but that fizzled out, but nevertheless, the rain is not. It is clearly coming down with big tropical downpours impacting us right now in Holden Beach, North Carolina.
Let's stick with the beaches, Alex. Let's go to Folly Beach, South Carolina, just a bit south. And you can see pretty rough surf out there, no doubt about that. Heavy rain, you can tell that because the horizon is obscured. And bad weather still continuing to play much of coastal South Carolina, and inland for that matter. And it's going to be around for days to come.
Yeah, it's like get used to the city because it's going to be for quite some time. Owl Palms in South Carolina, a location feeling the impacts. And again, it's just nasty. Rain coming down. You can see occasionally the raindrops on the lids there, kind of obscuring things just a bit. Cloud there offshore, the waves coming in as well. So yeah, just overall not a beach time for you. Up and down a good portion of the south.
Yeah, not that you'd want to get in the water with this weather out there, but even if you're so daring as a surfer, don't do it. You see the way the waves were breaking that far out?
You know who would be surfing?
Big wave
Jimmy
energy coming in.
Buffett. Jimmy Buffett be surfing in the hurricane.
But it's moved to the northeast eventually.
Yes, gonna take some time, but eventually.
But eventually, it's not there yet. This is the frontal zone that's moving through. Al, thank you very much. This is sort of a rain issue for us today. You can see that really kind of setting us up from, let's say, the Great Lakes all the way to parts of the Northeast. It's not going to be moving much, and there's going to be some. This is sort of setting the stage, I think, for more flooding yet to come down the line. But with this particular system, this front, which isn't going to move very much by itself, could lead to some flooding, and there's some significant flooding chance here across parts of Jersey and Eastern PA. Some of my old stomping grounds that say, oh, I know, Princeton, New Jersey, Philly, New York, Reading, you name it. We've got some heavy rain likely coming on in with some chance of severe weather as well between now and tomorrow. This severe weather outlook is for today, for this afternoon, later on, as we get more instability developing. Anywhere from Pittsburgh, even Cleveland, Columbus, Ohio, all the way through central Jersey. There is that chance of severe weather today with damaging straight line winds and primary hazard. So that's kind of setting us up for what is yet to come later on in the week, completely independently. And that's Debbie, the remnants of Debbie, let's call it, as it moves northward. Still, we think with a lot of tropical air to work with. So it's going to rain, and it's going to rain hard. And I think the rainfall rates will be rather significant once Debbie does move in. There's some good news, though. Yet, heavy rain is forecasted, and flooding threat is going to be there. It's significant, not just because of the rain we're getting today, but because when Debbie comes in, let's say Thursday and Friday, more rain yet to come. But here's the good news. Debbie will be accelerating, picking up the speed as it does move through. That's a good thing. It is going to do its part to limit some of the otherwise incredible rainfall amounts that we could see. But we'll still see some, but not as much as otherwise, because as I said, overall, it is going to be turning on the jets. And there it is, Debbie, right here, right out there. And this is Friday. So between now and Friday, we still in the Carolinas somewhere, we think. But by then, strong jet stream winds showing up on the data and the upper level weather charts. You know what that's going to do? That's going to finally kick Debbie's, you know what, out to sea really quickly. And you can see it starts. And by Saturday evening, very likely gone. Because it is a tropical air mass, and because it is also going to be bringing some very efficient rainmakers, flooding will be an issue regardless of how bad it is. So it's kind of here's some good news, maybe not some good news, compounding it as well. So there by Saturday evening and Sunday, the weather dries out, much better weather soon to arrive. We send it back over to Cantori in Charleston, South Carolina, who's awaiting the reemergence of the center of circulation of Debbie to move offshore with some chance that it gains some strength back.
It will.
Yeah, meantime, invite you down to take a tropical storm here, Michelle. Hey, before I lose you, Greg, don't switch shots yet. I wanted to ask you, do you think today's event with the rain and the flood potential that's going to move across the Northeast, okay, is going to exacerbate things when Debbie comes north? In other words, those kind of pre-existing conditions. Is there going to be enough wet weather with that?
Yes, we can see significant flooding with this front that's moving to the northeast now. The state 2 is not moving much.
Okay, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Hey, guys, of course, my phone just reset before I was talking to Greg. Looking at the McBrady Dam, by the way, down there in Cole County, we need to watch that. They're worried about it, getting pretty close to the top. We'll give you an update on that as we get more information. Stick around, buddy, go with that.
Dad, I got a huge barbecue wing today. This box is any picture. That stuff has way more water. A little bit of time goes a long way. So you can save your shirt. You get more money for next time. Library for that thing is super better clean with less. It's got to be time. Driving the Nissan Rogue.
Oh, shit.
Starting reserving at $30,000.
And Oscar Mayer, please move out, make you work 12 long hours. Keep it, Oscar.
Introducing Glimmy Plus. Or a perfect.
Yep. Okay, that's bacon. Guys, wait a minute. There are easier ways to get information about a place. Simply head over to apartments.com. Place to find your place, though. What causes a curve down there? Can it be treated?
Stop typing and start talking. It could be a medical condition called Peyronie's disease or PD, and it could be treated without surgery. Find a specialized urologist who can diagnose PD and build a treatment plan with you. Visit MakeItPDplan.com today.
Falls are the #1 cause of injury to senior citizens. Acorn Stairlifts has the solution. Just don't fall. Sit, relax, ride with an Acorn Stairlift, the world's leader in stairlifts. Don't let limited mobility keep you from going up and down your stairs, even outside. Call Acorn Stairlifts now for a free information kit and no obligation quote. Why risk falling when you can safely ride? Hire Acorn Stairlift. The Acorn Stairlift has a padded seat and backrest. Safety sensors stop the chair if there are obstacles. The seat swivels and locks so you don't twist your body. And the Acorn Stairlift folds away and even runs during power outages.
I was really surprised at how little it costs. Call 1-800-709-4212 right now for your free information kit or visit our website today. That's 1-800-709-4212.
Like that. Whoa! And you belong with the #1 brand in property restoration. Julie Serpro and experienced great tech. Career advancement from entry level to management and even ownership. Here you go, boss. And access to the best training available. Oh, I'm sorry. Got what it takes? Visit servpro.com/careers and apply today.
Third Plus helps you protect your dog from fleas, ticks, heartworm disease, and more. All in one delicious monthly self-care. You should caution a dog with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. NetScar Plus, the one we want for one-and-done protection.
Okay, looking at the new advisory from the National Hurricane Center, and we have a 40-mile-per-hour tropical storm pressure, 999 millibars, so that's come up a little bit. East northeast at 6, so it's still moving, and it is expected to get offshore today, right now 15 miles to the south of Savannah as of 11 a.m. So this is the 11 a.m. advisory as it continues to move east. Notice where the kind of the convergence zone is on the eastern side of this, bringing all that heavy rain on up toward Myrtle Beach and up toward Golden Beach as well, which is right there on the border there, North Carolina and South Carolina. They can actually use some of this rain inland, but we don't need a ton of rain, obviously, anywhere. The big question is, what happens to the circulation center once it gets back over the water? And that's really going to make all the difference in the world in what happens with Charleston, right? Because if this reorganizes in some way, shape, or form, it is going to be an issue potentially for our friends in Charleston because it could bring some more heavy rain and even wind back in the picture. Right now, from the news conference at 7 a.m. says, hey, for 10 a.m. The cookie continues till 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, and they'll reevaluate tomorrow morning. All right, let's take some pictures. What we have here, okay, is the same thing I had on last spots in Charleston. You can see the peak at the drone. This is shot on maybe 30, 40 minutes ago, and you can see where some of the extensive water is. Several blocks on where this is. You know, there's certainly where there's crawl spaces or lower elevation homes and businesses. That's where the water is coming right up here. But it's much like it was here in terms of the height of it. 1 to 2 feet. Charleston. Yeah, you see the same thing I have. The fact that the tide is going down is pulling the water back out. So there's actually a pull going on. It's acting like a suction of its own pulling the water into here. You know, we started here, okay, with this, and look at how far back I can walk now. I mean, this is at least another 20, 30 feet. The roots from the boat were completely underwater, they were on that, and even some sidewalks starting to show up now. So the water's going down. I even saw some, the barricades have been moved now, so they'll let you go through this area. So we're losing water as we would expect. The rain has gotten a lot lighter. All right, let's bring it back to Greg Postel and talk about what he thinks is going to happen with this. I mean, it's really got whacked, right? With its trip over land, it kind of lost a lot of its, inner core and its circulation center. But the real question, I think, is how much of that regains itself? Because the forecast is for it to go up again over warmer water in a light shear environment.
There is that chance. You're right about that. But you mentioned Debbie did take a beating, not just because it was over land, but some of the other atmospheric conditions around it kind of, bore away at the interior of it. So it's got a long way to go. But you're right about that, Jim. And it's something to watch as we go forward. I gotta say this, right here. We're going to take this video. Look at the kind of rain that Debbie is bringing to parts of the South. So this is what it looked like trying to drive through Garden City, South Carolina today. So I'm seeing a lot of heavy rain. There's a lot of ponding on the roadways. You got to be real careful in certain places where it's raining real hard. The soil is so very moist. The water's accumulating very quickly. So be very careful driving out there. And you don't know how deep the water is. You see flooded road ahead. Obviously, you want to turn around. Because your car, it doesn't take much for it to be carried away.
No, it don't.
You're out of control. So let's talk about how much rain is yet to come.
And it doesn't take much for your car to hydroplane too, or do a fishtail.
North Carolina, including Wilmington and areas to the northwest. Raleigh might pick up another 5 to 8 inches. And areas to the south, even still a bunch more. Now, this takes us out through Saturday. So while you may be in parts of Georgia thinking it's over, I know it's not raining now, it's got to be done. Not so fast, because the area of rain associated with Debbie is sitting and spinning, and in part will redevelop once again. So we're going to see Debbie hang out over the region and bring more threat for rain in the coming days. All on top of a lot of rain that we've already seen. This is a map that shows us the accumulation, the radar estimates of how much has fallen so far. And you can see that we've got in southern North Carolina estimates, by the way, there's the legend up at the top. So we're talking 2 to 3 inches in some spots. Now remember, we're expecting over a foot yet to come. Storm total saying will be even more than that. Of course, we've had a lot in southern South Carolina as well. Here's the legend. Well over a foot has fallen in some spots, and we're going to get a few more inches as well. Even if it's not raining right now, let's say across parts of Georgia or nearby areas of South Carolina, not far from Savannah, Brunswick, St. Simon's Island, may not be raining that hard. You're tempted to think it's over. Well, there's the back half of this piece here, this system. We're going to be watching that. It's going to be moving through, bringing some heavy rain. Wind, not a factor right now. Clearly, we have some wind of 20 to 30 miles per hour in spots, maybe a little bit more than that over water. But the center of circulation right about there, still inland, right along I-95, right about there. Now, the center is probably going to be coming back out over water. And Jim was talking about the possibility that, it could reinitiate the tropical development process. And that is indeed possible. But there's a lot to overcome, so it would take a while. We'll be watching for that in the coming days. For now, we've got heavy rain moving through North Carolina and South Carolina as well. These areas of rain are going to bring rainfall rates over 1 inch per hour, maybe 2 inches per hour in spots. and carry with them a tornado threat, which is why we've got tornado watches out here, at least one, until 5 o'clock. I have sneaking suspicion that's not the only tornado watch we're going to see later on this afternoon. Farther inland in the Piedmont of North Carolina, we've got rain showers closing in on Raleigh and the triangle Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill. We're going to see some rain closing in later on today. Giving you the timing of it all again, there's about where the center circulation is, let's say this evening, overnight tonight, very likely not far from the coastline, and then kind of rolling on toward the north, maybe east, and then maybe coming back inland. How about that? This is all part of the process of Debbie, without any steering fluid, fully in around. Kim Cantori is going to be with us through probably Thursday before it accelerates toward the northeast.
Coach Dell, I wanted to ask you, how much time are we looking at over water before it makes it a landfall?
It
48?
depends. Well, maybe it depends on the model you're looking at. Maybe less than that. Maybe 24 hours. It's hard to know for sure. I'm not sure that's enough time. Yeah.
Okay.
It's enough time for me to say, I'm doing the photo.
It's different animal.
Yeah.
Water like here. Okay, guys, okay, I appreciate that. I'm putting it in the corner, okay, because this was barricaded. So we just got here, an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. This was, high enough, it was up to my knees. So you can see where it is right now. Okay, it's just barely above my heel. And I'm trying to see, there's not really a debris line, but it was just to the bottom of where those crates are, those inland areas in that crawl space. So things are looking a lot better. Actually, here, at least on this good.
Okay, we're gonna do this. Hold
The
on.
rain, this obviously will slow the release, but the fact that the tide is going out.
I'm not gonna be saying, doing my little outro here.
Water out here, and take it out of the active rivers, eventually up toward the Atlantic. So
I'm going
what we're
to
gonna dig it out.
do this.
If they come like this, last for about 5-10 minutes, and then they stop.
Facing
There
that.
may be areas that stay flooded, all right, but there are also
Okay.
many areas that don't. So that's something that we're going to keep an eye on shortly. But everybody's under curfew till at least 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. That came from the 10 a.m.
And hello to Mr. Cantori.
If they need pumps, they're going to use pumps and get the water out. They had to do yesterday in the battery. But now the tallies are going up. So we're in a foot of rain in downtown Charleston. Do we get to 15, 17 inches before all is said and done? If it rains like this, even on and off all day, we'll probably get there. Okay, because we still have another 2 days until we finally say goodbye to some of this rain. A lot of the advisories and the tropical warnings continue until
We're just going to end this. Birdie, don't take cover, babies. No, y'all take cover. Oh, this. Oh, I forgot something. Sorry, forgot to do something. Y'all be safe. Y'all be good. Y'all stay dry. I love y'all. Bye bye, y'all. Bye bye.
But this thing is still going to be hanging around and still able to bring in a ton of moisture from the Atlantic. And so we still have a lot of